Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here, and in this video I want to explain to you why this weekend, especially now Sunday and Monday, is going to be the best time for you to play Trials as a solo player. Lots of things to earn, medals, reputation, and much more going on this weekend in Trials of Osiris. Freelance is here, so let's talk about it. And that is the first piece. For me, that is like the most important, is the fact that Freelance is available this weekend. We've only got it coming up 2 weeks from now. Basically the last weekend of the season before we get into season 17. And that one's going to be zone capture. Zone capture has some ups and downs to it for sure, but definitely has some chaos to it. This is going to be the last round of normal trials. The map was voted on. It's Ultra Flame, reasonable map, except, you know, got some head glitching places, but still reasonable map, not one that could be terrible. And it's freelance. You are never going to face a 3-stack if you go in there as a solo player, which is very, very important because I can't tell you how many times when freelance is not here, when I go to queue up in trials, that I hate seeing a 3-stack go against me because I literally instantly want to quit. And I can't, because then you're going to get, you know, like timed out or whatever it may be. So I don't quit and I play through it, but 99%, I would say 95% of the time we lose, if not higher. It's not fun, personally. Freelance needs to be a permanent thing. That's just my opinion. Either way, freelance being here, the map was voted on. You've also got another piece going on. Guardian Games is literally going on at this moment. And the nice thing about Guardian Games is the medals that are dropping, because we're all trying to get the title SMG to drop and hopefully get your God roll. I haven't got one that I would consider a God roll yet, so I'm still holding on to quite a few that I have. But the nice thing is, every time you do a one match of Trials of Osiris, you are going to get a silver medallion. Now, I had one silver medallion. I walked up to the podium, I turned it in, and guess what? I got a title SMG. Now, does that happen every time? No. But the fact that you can do it every match, win or lose, you're going to be accumulating silver medals. So do 5 matches, come back to the tower, turn in 5 silver medals. Whether you win, whether you lose, you're getting a silver medal for matches. If you lose and you get stomped on, well, guess what? There's a silver medal. That could be a title SMG for you right there. If you win, well, you're going to be earning multiple things. Reputation, because it's double reputation points this weekend. I'm sorry, I think that's one other thing I forgot to point out. That's the last thing, is double reputation. So if you click on it, you can see over here, all trials rank points earned are doubled. So if you want to go up in ranks, and especially as you go up in the early ranks, if you haven't played much trials before, you'll go from like Guardian 1 or whatever the lowest name and number is, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you can get just a couple of wins, you know, play through a few matches, have some bad people on your team, get a few matches where you get some good people on your team, you get a few wins and round wins under your belt, all of a sudden you're going to be like trials rank pretty reasonable, and you're going, oh, I've got like 4 or 5 engrams from Saint that I can go open up. The double bonus is huge. Now, the other thing I do, and I've tried to tell you guys to play a little bit, mainly because you can unlock this, the Passage of Wealth. You had to have completed 1 full passage, which means you've got to get 7 wins. Flawless or not, you just have to get to 7 wins on any passage during the season, and you can buy the Passage of Wealth. This is why I always play in the early part of the season, to make sure I can always get the Passage of Wealth, because then when it is a weekend that pairs together with freelance, especially, and double loot or double points, or even just the double points weekend, I will spend more time in the playlist, because every time you're going to get more reputation for the number of rounds won, the actual completion of the win, and then the higher up the card you go, you get even more reputation normally, and you're going to double that as well. So freelance, already making it a bit more manageable, at least on the headaches, because you're not going to face three stacks. Double reputation, just on the playlist alone, whether you have this card or not. If you have access to the Passage of Wealth, even more reputation, getting you more trials engrams to earn, which is important, and I'll cover why here in just a minute. Fourth one, every single match, and you could go 0-5, you could go 5-0. Whether you win or lose, you're getting a silver medallion. Those silver medallions are going to turn into a chance at the title SMG. You don't always have to get golds. You don't always have to get platinums. Now, if you're going to spend time in the competitive playlist, pick this up. If you're going to be in there for a little while, get Solar, get Arc, get Void, get Stasis, Final Blows, and Survival Trials or Iron Banner. Iron Banner is next week, so you'll be able to do this one next week too. And Iron Banner is going to be next week without, by the way, Trials will not be next week. So you've got this week for Trials, and the final weekend for Trials. Iron Banner, there is no Trials. Any trials final blow grants additional progress. So if you get some kills in there, whether it be a super, whether it be just, you know, a decent shot from range, you're going to be additional progress on this one. So you're getting silver medals the entire time. Whenever this gets done, you can turn it in as well, pick it up, and spend your time in the playlist. I know some people hate PvP, but I promise you it is worth your time, because on a freelance weekend, sometimes you're going to get paired up with 2 random good people in the little lobby that you're in, and you're going to win. It just statistically is going to happen. So spend a little time. And the best thing I can tell you, if you are not comfortable in PvP but you want to try, do not go charging forward. Try and play conservatively, and try and do beneficial things that are going to help out your team. So for a Titan, higher resilience so I can put my barricade, give people shields. Throw grenades if you can put those into, you know, just lanes where you see people camping. Since nothing's usually too far, you can usually get grenades there. Try not to get picked. And by picked, I mean sniped in the head. If you can just stay back, be cautious, and try and res anybody who dies. That is the biggest piece of advice I can give anybody. Try and help the people who are better than you succeed at what they're trying to do, and try not to be a body that they have to defend and limit their position. So it's better for you to stay back and maybe run in for a res, get them up and give them an overshield, let those stronger people do well, as opposed to for you to just be a body they have to defend and then try and 2-man it. So again, if you're playing by yourself, it may not be like your favorite thing in the world, but there's a lot of benefit, and there's one other reason as to why you want to do it, and it's what's going away, and that's going to be the weapons. The weapons going away at the end of Season 16. So when we start Season 17, which is in 3 weeks or less, basically, a couple weapons are leaving. You've got 2 important ones. You've got Shayura's Wrath. The Adept has already gone through that weekend, so you're not going to get the Adept before this goes. But Shayura's Wrath is going to be available only for literally this weekend and then the final weekend. That's it. So if you want a Void SMG that has, and all of these, I'm going to point out a very important thing. Alacrity. If you ever farm solo lost sectors, if you ever play by yourself, if you ever want to solo something and for some reason you need a weapon of these archetypes, it is advantageous to have a couple rolls at these. This is why I say spend a little time in trials. It is worth your time. Alacrity, faster reload, stability, aim assist, and range when you are running solo. Yes, when you're the last living member of your fire team, but if I'm the last living member of my fire team, we probably lost, unless there's one other guy and I win the one-on-one. But if I'm running solo, that also includes PvE stuff where you're solo, so this can have a benefit. Now, Shayura's Wrath, pretty stout machine gun. It's a 600. It's going to be a precision frame, so more predictable recoil. Feels good in people's hands. There's a reason people farm this thing. This is leaving out of the Trials loot pool at the end of this current season, so it's gone in 2.5 weeks. The other one that is leaving in about 2.5 weeks is going to be the Messenger. Now, they stated recently that we're going to have a chance to get Desperado on other weapons and other pulses, I should say. Now, 1 for all is not guaranteed. This is just a random roll. But high impact pulse rifles. At some point, those might feel a little better in PvE. They still don't feel bad, especially if you proc something like 1 for all. If you can get Desperado to proc with like rapid hit, these can feel very good. But if you ever need that kinetic pulse rifle slot in and you've got that solo player, this thing is going to be a laser beam, reload fast, aim assist, range. It's already got range. You're going to be able to put in some work from far away with a pulse rifle. And if it fits that, you know, champion necessitated archetype, maybe you're going to need a kinetic pulse rifle in one slot. Maybe you're going to need something else in another. So again, get a couple messengers, even if not the best rolls, keep one of them, because if you go through enough reputation, you can probably unlock those. These 2 are leaving in a few weeks. At the end of Season 17, in about 3.5 months, there are 2 more weapons that are going to leave, so now is a good time to start working on getting some engrams, getting some reputation, and unlocking them. One of them is very important. I mentioned it before. Summoner. There are not a ton of solar auto rifles. There's Arctic Haze, which is 1. And then if you go through this list, I think I looked before, and there might be 1 more that's not Sunset. Cryster and Mellow can't even get this thing right now unless Zur brings it, so you're not going to be getting that one. And then it's basically it. So there's not a lot of options. Now, maybe next season we'll get a solar auto rifle, but why not get one that feels good right now? I've used this thing in the Overload Master Lost Sectors, or Master Lost Sectors where you have overloads, which I can't stand, by the way, but even if they're far away, this thing and this perk is strong enough to allow the stability and the range to put in some work. Depending on what perks you get as well, this can be a very stout auto rifle. Feels good. It's a 600. Those are still going to be the best. If you don't have any summoners, this is going to leave at the end of Season 18. Start trying to farm for this thing now. Get a few drops on it. The final one is less of a care for me, but in case you do want to know, the final one that's going to leave at the end of Season 17, sorry, we're in Season 16. When Season 16 ends, we lose Shire's Wrath and the Messenger. They'll probably bring some other stuff in. When Season 17 ends, then we're going to lose the Summoner, and we're going to lose Eye of Soul. Now, this one to me doesn't have any god tier perk rolls on it, you know, anything that's going to make PvE amazing or something like that. If you are a PvP sniper, though, and you love some of the rolls here, now is time to get cracking because this thing goes away at the end of Season 17. So those are the main reasons I would tell anybody to play Trials this weekend, because you've got a lot of benefit going into this thing. You've got double reputation on a freelance playlist. So if you're a solo player, you're only going to be facing random groups. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but you know in here, there's a fair amount of 3 stacks, and those you just tend to lose because they're working together. This is at least better odds to have some chance of winning. Then on top of that, you're going to have the shot at silver medals every single match, which is chances at your title SMG, which is going to help your class if you're trying to do that one and you're trying to multitask. And every so often, once you've got enough of the laurels, pick up one of the platinum cards, put a little work in on that one, get a few kills here and there, and then there you go. And if you don't finish this one, guess what? You can kick this thing off on Tuesday when Iron Banner starts and finish it up right then if you don't finish it this weekend. So you've got a lot of reasons to play Trials this weekend. Please go do it. And if you have the option, Passage of Wealth, getting you even more reputation, which is going to get you even more Engrams for Saint 14, so you can get some of those rolls that you are going for. If you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like below. If you have a question or comment or anything like that, put that down below in the comments. Thank you for all the support lately. If you want to find me on Twitter or Twitch, it's Ebontis. Right here on YouTube, if you have not subbed, which I know most of you haven't, hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell. Nice way to support the channel for nada. Those of you who have gone above and beyond with the YouTube memberships and the Patreon subscriptions, thank you for those very much. All of you are amazing. Enjoy your Sunday. Happy Mother's Day, and I'll see you soon.